back to ETV, and today I will be showing you how I achieved these beautiful knotless braids. This is my very first time doing this look and doing knotless braids or any sort of add-on braids ever. So if you are a beginner, this video is for you. But before we get started, please make sure you subscribe to my channel. Also make sure you hit that like button and click that bell so you get notifications whenever I post my videos. So today I will be using the Spectra Innocent Luxury Premium hair. I ended up getting 4 packs of the 30-inch braiding hair in the color 27. Way too much. You do not need that much. I literally used, like, let me see. I ended up getting 4 packs of the blonde hair in the color 27, and I ended up getting the 5 packs of the color 2 braiding hair in the inch 30 as well. I would say you would be fine if you have a lot of hair, because I do have a lot of hair. You would be fine with only getting 3 packs of black and 2 of the blonde, but I bought too many. Anyways, so I got the same brand in the black color, in the color 2, and this is the Spectra Braid pre-stretched antibacterial fiber braiding hair. I can say that this hair was very easy to braid with. I've had my hair braided before, and I've seen some of my beauticians struggle with some of the hair that I bought before, so I can say that this was pretty easy to work with. But other than that, so that's the hair that we're going to be using today.
Alright guys, so I started with parting my hair into 2 sections in the back. I parted it into 2 rows, and I'm going to be working with these 2 rows first in the back. Don't worry guys, my part just could not get straight. I couldn't see, and my hair just seems to never be able to untangle, so it was very difficult for me to part. I'm very tender-headed, and I didn't want to fight with it, so this is the best we're going to get. Okay, so what I did was I sectioned off a piece of my hair into what I believed was a small enough piece. It still may have been a little bit too big, but I parted that section off, and what I did was I started braiding, and after you braid about 3 times, you're going to take a small strand of hair, of the add-in hair, and then you're going to add the braid into the hair. Then you're going to continue braiding, and I would braid about 2 or 3 times, and then you grab another small piece and add that in there as well. You're going to take the second piece of hair and braid that into the braid, and you're going to braid it about 2 or 3 times, and lastly you're going to take your third piece, which is your last piece that you're going to add to this braid, and braid the braid all the way down to the bottom until the braid is complete. Now you don't want to make your 3 strands of braiding hair too thick, because you don't want your braids to be too thick. You just want to make sure you grab enough to make the braid the size that you want it to be. I was clearly struggling right here guys, because like I said, I've never done this before. It took me a few tries to even get this first braid done. One of my main reasonings for struggling so bad at the beginning was because I was adding the braiding hair at the top, and I braid overhand. So this will not work adding the hair in on the top side of the braid if you braid overhand. If you braid overhand, you need to add the add-in hair at the bottom, and this will prevent the add-in hair from slipping out when it's time for you to braid the hair. So I know this braid is looking a little crusty. I pretty much experimented with the back of my head and for this very first braid. As the video goes along, I got way better at braiding these. So once we get to the front, I will slow it down for you guys so that you can see exactly what I'm doing, and it will be easier to see. Oh child, baby, these parts in the back look a mess. One thing you probably do notice is that my hair at the roots are not crisp and clean like they're supposed to be. This is because I did not have the gel that I needed, and with the coronavirus going around right now, I just didn't want to go to the store, so pretty much I'm just making this work right now. But that was the first row, and now I'm going to complete the second row before we jump to the front of my head. If you can see how easy I was braiding this braid compared to the first one, I had definitely improved in braiding these braids, so Just know that if you don't get the first one right, it takes some practice, so just use the back of your head to practice. You really don't see those braids anyways, so that's my suggestion to you. Okay guys, so this is the finished look of the back. Once again, my parts are crooked. Oh well, nothing I can do about that. I can't see. Okay guys, so I went ahead and parted my hair down the middle into two sections, and I'm going to complete the left side of my head first and then the right. So what I did was parted my hair into one row in the front, and I'm going to complete that row first. The reason why I wanted to do this was because this section is required to be very nice and neat. Now of course we know mine won't be because I don't have my gel, but I'm going to try to make it as neat as possible. Now I did want to zoom in so that you guys can get a closer look at what I am doing to achieve this braid. So what I'm doing is I'm dividing my hair into three parts to start my braid, and I'm going to go over because I do braid over. Braid my hair a few times. I don't really have a set number. I just go until I think is enough, and then I take my piece of hair and I'm going to add that in at the bottom. And you grab that with the outer two pieces and you continue to braid. So braid over again, and you do that. And what I did do was make sure that the piece of hair that didn't have any hair attached to it was on the outside, so that when I added another piece of hair, that piece of hair wouldn't still be without an add-in extension. And as you can see here, I have the one strand that doesn't have extension of braiding hair on it. So like I said before, just keep that piece of hair on the outside and just add your last strand of hair into that to make sure that all of your strands have hair added into them to complete the braid. Now I really didn't have a pattern on how I was adding color into my hair. At first I wasn't too sure about how I felt about the color, only because these are knotless braids, so the point of these braids are to look natural, and I felt like some of the color was taken away from the braid looking natural, but only with these braids that I chose to do all blonde. So the mixed braids looked perfectly fine, but I believe the all blonde braid was okay. So just keep that in mind when you're completing these braids. Just got home and you turn on some blues. Then tell me you're hungry. So for this next braid, I'm going to do all black, and you're going to see what I'm talking about whenever I mention how natural it looks with just the all black, because it is my natural hair color. Doing it all black really is natural, or just the color of your natural hair color. Just makes the braid look so natural. So next time I'm going to experiment and do my entire head all black, or maybe get a darker color, maybe like a brown, to make it blend in a little bit better. Don't get me wrong, I do love the blonde and it's very cute, but just to see how natural it looks, I'm going to experiment the next time I braid my hair. Because look how good this black braid looks, y'all. Yes. Okay, you guys, I just wanted to mention how I achieved the mixed color braids. And this is the ones with blonde in it, but it's not all blonde. The first strand that I added in was black, and then the second strand was blonde, and then the last strand was black. I really like these braids. Now these I didn't have an issue with, and they also looked natural as well. So mixing the color in was a very great idea. I really loved how it came out. So this is a thumbs up for me. Okay guys, so this is what the front came out to look like. Yes, this came out so good. I was so excited. I was just, for this to be my very first time, I was just very shocked that it came out this well. And I was clearly very excited. So I went ahead and finished braiding this half of my head. Aren't you guys just so proud of me? Like, what? Like, I'm just proud of myself. Like, this is such a huge accomplishment for me. I've been saying that I wanted to try this on my head, but I was just procrastinating. Since coronavirus came around and we're quarantining in our houses, I was just like, whatever, might as well do it. And I'm so glad I did. This came out looking so good. Like, yes. And if y'all not proud of me, I'm gonna be proud of myself, because period, boo.
So guys, I am complete. This is the finished look. I got my mixed blonde in here with my black. I didn't do my parts and things too small. One, because I didn't want to be here all day, but also because I don't like, you know, the braids to be small like that. I like this nice. I guess you could say this is a medium size, and I wanted to do my parts pretty big. So this size worked for me. I really love these braids, you guys, and I'm excited that I know how to do these now. So I will be probably doing my hair in braids more often in these knotless braids. So other than that, so I started on, what day was that? I started on Friday, and I started at around 7 p.m. In the beginning, took me a really long time, only because I just had no clue of what I was doing, and I was really in the learning process. But once I learned what I was doing, I started getting faster and faster. Friday night I didn't finish. I stopped at about 1:30, and at that point I was done with half of my head. So that's 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1:30, so 6.5 hours. And then on Saturday was whenever I knew exactly what I was doing, and I finished really quick. I started at 11 and I ended at 1:30. So 12, no, I started at 10:30 and I ended at 1:30. So it took me 11, 12, 1, 3 hours to do half of my head on Saturday versus 6 hours to do a little bit over half of my head on Friday. So once you get the swing of things, it's going to be a really quick process. Depending on your braiding level skills, mine are okay. I've seen people braid faster than I can, so if you braid faster than I can, you could probably finish this in like, I would say like 4 or 5 hours if you really know what you're doing. But I would say I really like the color. What I did do is I went back in and I changed some of the braids. Like these two, I initially had like a mixed color braid, but I didn't like how it looked in my face. I don't know if it's because the blonde is really bright, or the fact that when I put it back, you could see like where the blonde was coming in. I don't know, I just didn't like how it looked right here. So I just took those out, replaced those with some black braids. And then I took some of the other ones out and put a little bit more black, because it looked a little bit too much for me with a lot of that blonde in there. And I like this look. It's enough blonde to see and for it to be cute, but it's not too much blonde where it's like just too much. So other than that, I really like these braids. I really suggest that you do them, because it's very useful. You don't have to pay $200+ for your hair to get braided. You can do it yourself. One thing that I was missing was jam. I didn't have any jam to braid my hair, but with coronavirus going on, I didn't want to go back to the store. I'm choosing to stay locked in and not to go out anymore, so I just tried to make do with what I had. So which is why a little bit of my hair is sticking out. But make sure you get some jam whenever you do your braids. But other than that, I would say this is a successful video, and I did that. Period, boo, okay? And I'm really surprised and happy at the same time. So I hope you guys like this video. I hope that this video was helpful. Before we go today, guys, please make sure you subscribe and you give this video a thumbs up, and also hit that bell to get notifications whenever I post on videos. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.